Welcome to Viva. The big story of the day is, of course, Prime Minister Najib meeting President Donald Trump. PM Najib says that he wants to help the US economy in terms of strengthening their economy. He comes with three specific proposals. Number one, the Prime Minister says that they intend to increase the number of Boeing planes to be purchased by Malaysia Airlines. He says that they are committed to buy 25 planes of the 737 MAX 10. Plus another 8 787 Dreamliners. And there is a strong probability, according to PM Najib, and not a possibility but a probability, that they will buy 25 more 737 MAX 10 in the near future. So within 5 years, the deal will be worth beyond the $10 billion mark. In fact, that's stretching to close to $20 billion mark. Now that's number one. The second thing that the Prime Minister says is that they have the EPF, which is one of the major pension funds in ASEAN, let alone Malaysia, the biggest one at least. They've got quite a big of capital to be exported, according to the Prime Minister, and they have invested close to $7 billion in terms of equity in the United States. The Prime Minister says that they intend to invest more, in fact $3 to $4 additional billion to support Donald Trump's infrastructure redevelopment in the United States. And of course, the Prime Minister continued on saying that there are the third pledge that he wants to make to President Donald Trump. According to the Prime Minister, Khazanah Nasional, the sovereign fund of Malaysia, have an office in Silicon Valley. The Prime Minister says that they want to invest about $400 million in terms of high-tech companies, and they intend to increase that investment as well. The second story that I want to look is into the reaction of all these entities that the Prime Minister has cited. Last that we checked, Khazanah, EPF, AirAsia and Malaysia Airlines have not reacted to this statement thus far. But of course, before the meeting, we've seen Malaysia Airlines making a statement that they already want to buy some Boeing planes. And with some details coming in from the meeting between President Trump and Prime Minister Najib, we now know the value of that deal. There seems to be no updates from them, i.e. Malaysia Airlines, but they have said that they want to focus on buying a host of assets from Boeing. Earlier, the Prime Minister witnessed the signing of an MOU between Malaysia Airlines and Boeing Aircraft Corporation for the purchases of these aircraft, including the maintenance, repair and overhaul or MRO facility in Sepang, totaling about $3.9 billion. And of course, the third idea that we want to have is that Prime Minister Najib addresses the American business community. But of course, the Prime Minister wants these business communities in the US to come and visit Malaysia and see for themselves the progress that has been taking place. He says that those who do not know Malaysia well, come and be surprised. Come and see the high-tech firms that Malaysia has to offer and be proud of what we can offer to you. But before President Trump met Prime Minister Najib, he did comment something about the North Korean sanctions. In fact, he downplays it. President Trump commented on the North Korean sanctions just before meeting Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak. Trump said that he thinks that it's just a small step, a very small step, and not a very big deal pertaining to the North Korean sanctions, new sanctions. I don't know if it has any impact, said Trump, but those sanctions are nothing compared to ultimately what will have to happen next. We don't know what that means, what will happen next, but of course, some have argued that it could be a full-fledged war. The new sanctions severely restrict oil imports and ban all textile exports worth about $800 million and remittance of some 93,000 North Korean laborers from abroad. The fifth big story is, of course, Apple. They've launched two new smartphones, the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus, at a major event in California, which also saw them release the premium version of the iPhone X handset. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus are upgrades to Apple's current iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus range, updating some of the main features found on Apple's core products. Initially, most pundits thought that the iPhone 8 would be Apple's main new phone. However, instead it released three smartphones as part of the 10th anniversary of the original iPhone. You've been watching Viva.